Hey guys, so today we'll be doing a full comparison between the iPhone 6s versus the new Sony Xperia X. So before starting off, I just want to mention the price of these two phones. Now, Sony phone, it's kind of a confusing thing because they have this Xperia X which has like flagship quality specs, but it doesn't have a Snapdragon 820 processor. It has like a mid-range CPU, but it still costs a lot. At some places it costs around like $600, I think. But in June, Sony will officially launch this phone, so but it's still going to cost you around $500, and in between $500 to $600. While the Xperia X Performance will, of course, be costing around $700. Versus the iPhone 6s, the 16GB variant here that I have, this phone cost around $600 to $650 here. Of course, if you buy it from like official Apple store, it's gonna cost you a little bit more. So nonetheless, both phones are pretty expensive. There are some people who are thinking to buy Xperia X, but they're thinking like they should buy the Apple iPhone 6s, and they're thinking that this might be like more worth it. So we're going to be comparing and finding out which is the better phone. So first of all, if we talk about the build quality, okay? Now you can see that Sony has adopted this aluminum design, which Apple had for years. Since the iPhone 6, they had this design full aluminum. So Sony did the same thing. They dished the glass. Instead of that, you have full aluminum, okay? Aluminum side, and to be really honest, it is a really premium phone. It's much more compact. I've never dropped it, so I might do like a drop test in the upcoming videos, but currently it's definitely more compact than having a glass everywhere. So based on my experience, personal experience as a smartphone guy, I know phones with the aluminum bag, they are actually more durable than full glass phones. Apple iPhone 6s, it is like a status phone. People buy this phone not because of the camera or like specs and all that. I mean, specs, they do count, but the main thing is that they want an Apple product in their life, because this just shows what you call richness or something like that. I personally don't use iPhone as my main phone because I use it every day, but I don't take it out because I like Android. It's customization and all that, and most people around me are using Android phones, so that's why I'm actually using Xperia X as my main phone currently. The thing is, both are premium, okay? It's just your personal preference. You can see that size-wise, both are pretty equal, even though that the Xperia has a bigger display, but they feel to be quite equal. And you can also see on the sides that iPhone 6s is definitely thinner, while Xperia is a little bit thicker there. You got your power button on the right, volume rocker, and a dedicated camera button on the Xperia phone, which you can use, of course, to capture photos, which is really nice. You also have dual front stereo speakers, which are pretty decent, while on the iPhone, you get this lightning port, of course, which is kind of like USB Type-C, because you can plug in different directions, while here you got USB 2.0. You also have like a mute switch, which is an incredibly handy feature on the iPhone, which is pretty cool. And also, other than that, you don't really have anything special on the iPhone. You got micro SD card tray here, or like this is the SIM card tray. You don't have to use the SIM ejecting tool. You can just open this one up and put the micro SD card and the SIM card there. So you can see you got everything at the bottom: speaker, charging port, and the 3.5mm headphone jack on the iPhone down there, while on the Xperia it's actually on the top. So different construction. I like that Sony has its original design. So if we just dig inside and check out the display, look at the display of the Xperia phone. I mean, this is like one of the most beautiful 1080p HD displays I've ever seen on a smartphone. I mean, I was using Galaxy S7 Edge as my main phone, then I switched to LG G5, then I switched to HTC 10, and now I switched to Xperia X, and believe me, I am not bothered, okay? I came from Quad HD to Quad HD to Quad HD, and then to 1080p, and this is absolutely great. If you have watched my full review, I actually showed you some outdoor shots, so it's a pretty bright display outdoor, also outdoor wise. This is a 4.7 inch display. This is 5 inch, so you get a little bit bigger display here. So 4.7 inch with the 750 by something ridiculous resolution, but it's a nice display. It has retina quality. It's really bright. So, but some people will prefer this one because it's 1080p. Obviously, if you want 1080p on the iPhone, then you have to pay more for the bigger brother, which is the 6S Plus, which might be a little bit too big for some people. Like 5.5 inches, really big, and iPhone 6S Plus is like a big phone. But yeah, most of people will prefer small size. So 4.7 inch display wise, I'm personally enjoying the display of this one more because it's 1080p, it's bigger, and I really like the colors. Digging inside the software, this is iOS, this is Android, okay? You know the rules. Android has no rules, while the iOS has guards and restrictions everywhere. It's a closed environment. You can't really do a lot of customization. So you can see that it's really simple to use. If we take a quick look here at the notification panel on both phones, okay, you can see you got your quick settings here, and all your notification will come also. While on the iPhone, you got these different tabs. You also get this nice little control center, which you can use to quickly turn on flash and all that stuff. So, like I said, iOS is actually a little bit more simple to use, or like a lot more simple to use for simple people. But Android is the home of customization. You can even have like iOS type launcher to get iOS like experience on an Android phone. So it's possible. So with the Android, there are the possibilities for the customization is endless. This is Android Marshmallow, by the way. Sony has done some changing to their UI. Like you can see in the app drawer, you got your search bar there. It's basically what they have done is that it doesn't matter if you have the best CPU or the best GPU. They have showed actually the power of optimization. So if you remember my speed test video, the Xperia was most of the time faster than the iPhone, or if not faster, it was actually equal, and it was performing better in apps other than games. Now, when it comes to processor, of course, this is Apple A9. This is Snapdragon 650. Again, Snapdragon 820 is available with the Xperia phone if you want more RAM and more performance, so you can get that one. But personally speaking, I think if you want to save money, then go with the Snapdragon 650 variant. It's going to do all your tasks without any problem, play all games without any major issues. So this is definitely a good buy for money, okay? On the other hand, iPhone 6s, it's a fast phone, but it's a 2015 phone. It will be replaced by iPhone 7, and speed is not the only thing that you need, okay? Camera and other text things they also matter a lot, like especially battery. So moving towards the camera, the Xperia X has a 23 megapixel camera sensor on the back, which is same as the last year's camera, while the iPhone 6s has a 12 megapixel camera on the back. On the front, you get 13 megapixel selfie camera, which is absolutely beast on the Xperia X versus 5 megapixel on the iPhone. Now, in terms of overall picture quality, I should say sometimes the iPhone produced better results compared to Xperia phone, but sometimes Xperia produce better results. It's just your personal preference. You are the judge here. Let me know in the comment section down below which you think is the better one picture wise. The autofocus is a lot better on the Sony phone compared to the iPhone. iPhone takes some time to focus in some areas while you are recording videos. You can record 4K videos on iPhone, but that's kind of a waste thing because for 4K you have to buy like a little bit bigger version of the iPhone, storage wise, which is going to cost you a little bit more money. So yeah, storage is a big issue with the iPhone. So if we take a look at the videos of both phones, again, like I said, the quality is pretty good on both phones. So let's take a look at that. So like I said, the iPhone 6s is a 2015 phone. It is still having that 2015 tech. Hopefully the iPhone 7 will bring a big change to camera like we are seeing in leaks and rumors. So if we talk about some other stuff, like this is having a 3D touch on the display, of course, I'm not gonna argue with this one because it can be a good feature for you. Maybe you prefer it a lot. I use Mac also, so I think it's a nice feature. You can just quickly see the links and all that, especially it's useful with the browser. We don't have anything like that on Android department. So Xperia X is not waterproof. You know, I did some research online. It's I checked their website, Sony's official website. Xperia X is actually not waterproof. I think the X Performance is waterproof. Fingerprint sensor on the Xperia X is on the power button, while here you got it on the home button. So again, they work pretty fine, they are pretty fast. Lastly, if we talk about the batteries on this phone, now this is where the Xperia phone really shines. It's gonna give you around 2 days of battery life according to Sony, but according to ZTech Gear, it's gonna give you 1 day plus easily if you are someone who who don't play games all the time, who don't watch YouTube videos all the time. So it's definitely better battery wise. While the iPhone, of course, it charges up faster. It has a nice standby time, but when you use it, like if you watch YouTube videos and play games, then it's gonna drain a lot faster. So battery wise, iPhone is still at the moment not quite there. Sony is too good, you know. I remember the Xperia Z3 days, it was really good with the battery life, and still with the new X series, it is definitely going strong with the battery. So I really hope that this video helped you out. Again, I can't say that iPhone is better or this is better. Like I said, if you want to get if you really need an Apple product in your life and you worry about status and all that stuff, then you could consider this one. But if you want the same type of design, the same build quality, 32 gigs of internal memory with micro SD card, slot option, a dedicated camera button, and also dual front speakers and a better display, then you can consider buying the Xperia X. Hopefully, like I said, the iPhone 7 will be here. We'll be comparing it to the Xperia X in the future. So stay tuned for all the tech videos. They'll be coming pretty soon. Please like, subscribe, and peace out.